this 2v2 as the Gen.G side. Plus, you have this early game Poppy that can use some of that power with Jinx, Tahm Kench in the 2v2. Now, Renata should be able to stave off that better than a lot of supports we see with the Aphelios, like when Aphelios has Tahm Kench on red side, or when Aphelios has that Thresh, not going to be able to push back as easily, but Renata will definitely help.
Yeah, I think there's sort of two glaring issues on Gen.G's side of the draft. It's the Gnar and it's the Tahm Kench into Renata. I don't like Tahm Kench into Renata just generally, but Tahm is very, very valuable as a 5v5 tool, right? Especially when you have Azir and Jhin. Play to the beat of T1's drum, it will be very difficult to play out, but let's see how it goes. We hop onto the Rift. All right, and now even though Chronicler and Valdez cannot be here today, I at least can hear from them via the internet. And so Chronicler has given this one a slight draft edge to Gen.G. He's saying about 60-40, but it should be close, as Peanut might interrupt me before I get to talk about Valdez and what he said, as Faker will find the never move onto the Poppy. Peanut, just back away, my friend, because I've got things to talk about.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot of his health bar that is eaten away, but go on.
All right, thank you very much, Peanut, there for the interruption, but that's absolutely fine. Valdez has a slightly different idea. He thinks that Renata and Swain are just kind of busted at this point in time. And as play-by-play, I feel like we are in sync on this one, because I kind of agree. And he thinks the zone control that T1 do have with Cannon Barrage and just Swain existing should give them the edge if they can get fights on their terms, even against Gen.G's range advantage. So he's going to go 55-45 in favor of T1.
I like how it's very close, though, of course, because I do think that this is not... We've seen a lot of draft kingdoms this week, and a lot of them have been like really significant, so much so that we're like, oh man, do we even have to watch how this plays out? But this one is not the case, right? This is one that's going to be around us. Yeah, this has been a trend for the matchup, as Owner is lurking on the other side.
Yeah, as there's the Abyssal Dive, trying to get Lehens out of here. He's going to flash. Ruler holds on to his, very importantly, but now they're going to have to both back away. Tahm Kench no flash means that a return from Owner is going to be very potent.
Yeah, and this is not that you get a lot more power in every subsequent team fight. As Peanut will return down here and look for this Drake. They get the control vision here on the river bush, and so this is absolutely going to go the way of Gen.G here. So it's still very even, you know. Obviously, when these minions go down here for Ruler, he's going to shore up some of the CS he lost from that wave state earlier. But, I mean, this is about as even as it gets. And it's so refreshing to see two top teams in the LCK clash like this after what has been a week of a lot of mismatches in the 2v2s. We've had a lot of Lucians get through draft. We've had a lot of those Poppy ganks, those pillar ganks coming through from Trundle. Just literally end the games in the first 5 minutes.
If Gumushi also has some brown bags. And Ruler, item parity pseudo, but also he's cashing in that cull.
CHOVY.
And just going to be chilling for now as, okay, flash out from Carrier. Handshakes Lehens. And yeah, that was a handshake in agreement as there's a flash forward. The flash tongue lash from the Tahm Kench as there's the knock up onto Carrier. He's going to burn down. And he's not going to get bailed out from this one. Ruler wanted to pick up the kill, but Lehens, he'll take it, and first blood goes to Gen.G. Once again, Peanut with absurd first blood participation.
Yeah, once again, the Herald is going to go over to T1 here. Will Guma actually get punished for being greedy here?
Yeah, that's the Vision of Empire to come through as well, just to try and deter them. But Gumushi, with so many of these chakrams, is able to 1v2 away. The never move doesn't connect, but it is Faker that secures his blue buff. Peanut not able to get the smite. He had to use that, I think, to keep himself alive.
And all of this is predicated on the fact
exact play. Peanut
they know it's coming.
Well,
yeah,
that he can move over this. Owner staying, just thinking about a back timing, but he walks over Vision. Gumushi going down relatively low. No flash on Carrier, remember. Zap goes wide. And Carrier looking for this one. Steadfast presence. The Vision of Empire is going to show Peanut as he walks towards this brush. And T1, they're just like, come on, guys.
Faker has Cryo, or rather, CHOVY has Cryo, excuse me, in mid, and he's going to come over here with Emperor's Divide. You've got to be careful, T1.
Yeah. Okay. Going to interrupt that one. Great handshake. That guarantees the Drake here. Carrier just taking matters into his own hands.
CHOVY is going to maybe get a plate here, and the Vision of Empire tries to stop that minion from going down. He just barely will get it and get out. But that was a really well-placed ultimate there from Carrier, and T1 was so confident that with that ultimate, they should be able to kind of fight away and take the Drake. So tying us up now 1-1.
Yep. And the interruption on the Poppycopter with the hostile takeover is actually really, really strong here. And I think that Carrier will need to keep doing that if they want to actually win fights. Moonlight Vigil's going to come down. That should be able to stun up Ruler, but the Flame Trump is in great position. Another ulti comes out as now Owner is going to get caught. The Steadfast Presence comes in. He does have Cyclone, but unfortunately, the Alcove Gaming's not working out. And in goes CHOVY, manages to pick up Carrier as well, and he will go down. Peanut wants to stop this Rift Herald, and oh my goodness, the heroic charge will deny the charge of Shelly. I guess Poppy's got a better charge than the Rift Herald.
There you go. So much farm denied from Guma.
Yeah, you can see Ruler just happily chilling out here. Vision of Empire. It does mean that Ruler takes a turret shot. Nicely done there by Faker, but this turret's not going to be long for the world. And Ruler will be able to do some of the Tristana tactics, right? You move your Jinx around and pick up as many of these structures as possible and really start this snowball moving. It's the classic Jinx Azir early game strat, as Doran does have Mega available, but Zeus has Owner available, which I'd say is a little bit stronger. Doran just going to tidy the wave there with his ultimate.
They want to force it back there to trade, you know, potentially a Herald and turret for this bottom push.
Ooh, that was a bit of a preemptive devour there from Lehens, but it still will guarantee. Oh, never mind.
They're still going to
be Cannon Barrage. They are definitely going to do a ton of damage. The minions are definitely gone, though, as, yeah, Lehens is going to survive. Never mind.
And at the top side of the map, it's a Herald taken here for T1, but they weren't able to turn that into turret and Herald, which is what the gank attempt for Owner was looking for.
Goodness.
CHOVY he's doing a lot. He's got 3 stacks.
Yeah. Red, white, don't fight, but maybe don't fight CHOVY, who is just, yeah, taking a lot of control here. Peanut thinks that it might be his opportunity, but Carrier can just say no.
And this is another reason.
Read Peanut like a book. They knew once again exactly where he was going to be, but we're going to see another fight here. Owner, that's not the real one. So the monkey's going to be absolutely fine, but the first Infernal Drake is on everyone's mind right now. Gen.G with full control of the area, though, and there's no way T1 can even fight for this.
Zeus has no teleport, so
no ulti either.
Yeah, he stayed down here because he thought maybe they're going to need my damage if we're going to contest. Because like you said, if he has no ult and no teleport, he can't be on the top side, so there's no cross map available here. So, yeah, Gnar just gets to go bottom and take that farm. And Zeus will push topside here, but it's going to be answered by CHOVY. T1 are not able to make any cross-map play here. They just lose a Drake for free, essentially. Really unfortunate here for the squad. This game is not over by any means, even though it is a massive lead for Gen.G here. But T1 are going to somehow have to win a miraculous fight or set up some really awesome vision here on these next objectives if they're going to have any hope. Because otherwise, they're just starting to really fall behind. And when you're behind the pace of this Azir Jinx into a very low-range Swain Aphelios comp, you're going to have a lot of problems if you don't have the setup first on team fights before it actually happens. But he might not get a chance still if this map is just continually under Gen.G's control.
Well, if you out-tempo Swain, it's actually really hard for him to find his way back in. However, teleport's going to come through. Shirley looking for a charge. She will get one this time. Ulti comes through from Peanut just to deny the 5v5, but it's just Gumayushi. And he is going to run his way back. Doran throwing around some boomerangs and avoiding quite a bit of what Faker was throwing out here. Nicely done. Lightning Hands not quite working out.
I mean, even the Gnar creates somewhat of a range problem here for T1.
Ooh, Moonlight Vigil goes wide. Shifting Sand's going to be used there from CHOVY. Means that he can't use it anytime soon. However, this tower still goes down and Ruler gets excited. Carrier taking a lot of damage. Good utilization of the package there from Ruler. Understanding that he can just sidestep basically everything when he has so much movement speed.
I mean, the T1 are getting T1'd by Gen.G. This is just Gen.G being as oppressive as T1 was all spring season when they were on that perfect season tear, 18-0. Yeah, the siege is incredible. Carrier has to ult defensively here to try to turn this around, but there's a Sun Disc turret here.
Peanut really didn't want to flash there. He was like, Lehens, devour me. And Lehens was like, just flash, man. I need this devour for Ruler.
It's true.
At least that's what I assume is what happened, because I think you can devour over that wall.
Seconds to Infernal. They have full control of that zone.
Yep, Infernal Soul going to be well and truly on the table here. That's going to immediately be taken. Lehens rotating over as there is a turret taken. Bounties are available. FAKER completes his Rylai's Crystal Scepter, so that is Imperial Mandate value well and truly online, but it's just whether or not they're going to be able to utilize it, right? Because range advantages are so much more pronounced when you're ahead. And Nevermove will connect, but they still can't get to Ruler.
Yeah, and every time this Ludens procs on Gumayusi, T1 fans shed a tear because it just means that he has to back away. In this case, it's just going to fully back because he had no mana. It does pick up his Lord Dominic, so we were very close to Ruler actually getting a 2-item advantage against one of the most famous AD carries of all time, or of recent times, I should say, in Guma.
Yep.
Still hasn't picked up his world title yet, but this turret is not long for this world. Cannon Barrage committed here. Defensively, it doesn't save the turret. There is no turn, and T1 are just so desperate for anything.
Yeah, and Ruler can still stand forward because that Devour is still available. Lehens even has Flash if he needs to get over there in the nick of time, as Ruler is looking like an assassin with his positioning right now. Wants a Bramble back. Should be able to take it, and Nevermove not going to connect there, so the Jinx should just be able to move over to this inner turret as well. And this snowball is just rolling so quickly down the hill. Gen.G are just not giving T1 any options, and this is not a game where, like, Zeus is sitting in side lanes. He was able to get that top outer turret, you know, but that is the only turret T1 have managed to get this game.
Yeah, talk about this. Zeus is looking for the flank here.
Yeah, there's the Flash hostile takeover, but Peanut just runs really fast. Ruler does have Flash, is now CHOVY looking for FAKER. Emperor's Divide is going to get rid of the demonically ascended Swain. And now CHOVY's running for the hills because there is an angry pirate moving up towards the pigeon, but Peanut is there. Vision of Empire going to spot CHOVY, but not going to land the damage.
That was one of the craziest attempts to flank we have seen in a while, and it was a really cool idea. If you get that carrier ult to pop off, Zeus gets around the edge there with a barrel chain, maybe you can actually find this one place where you can punish Gen.G, and they almost pulled it off. Then they were like, all right, this works twofold because then we collapse on top of the Azir, but CHOVY was too safe, pushes FAKER away, commits his ultimate, knows that he has just enough time to escape there, and
never mind, but it's another old Poppy skin.
I do want to point out that T1 have incredible pick potential here with all the CC they have and the Renata ults. If somebody makes a mistake, even the Poppy will not be safe. Like, T1 are really hoping for that error, that unforced error. If there's just one small mistake, maybe there's a window back in, and that's what they're hoping for so desperately and setting up Vision for, but hasn't happened yet. His owner is once again trying to find any angle. Is Ruler going to greedily come up here to help?
Oh, it's Ragdoll Poppy.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Poppy's, like, she's had like 4 million skins, I think, is the approximate amount of skins that she had quite early as Super Mega Death Rocket, just to make Gumayusi feel nervous about standing close to this minion wave. Yeah, but it's not actually going to eventuate in too much.
Both the Ludens and the Ludens procs, we've seen CHOVY proc on him so many times, and the Rocket are just starting to be a big problem. It's almost like we have a Ziggs here and a Jinx in one.
Doran, that's a little bit frightening.
He's got Narbar, and T1 don't have vision, so he can hold this choke.
Yeah, and Flame Trumpers are also pretty dang good at that, as there's the Flash Gnar from Doran just buying space. They pick up the Infernal Soul, and he's going to get Handshake back. So that's a dead Gnar. First kill goes over to T1. And now Gen.G are just trying to get out of there. CHOVY, oh my god, the Sand Soldier damage is pretty nutty. He's got a Shadow Flame completed as well.
A little bit of a disconnect here, though, frankly, for Gen.G.
Oh, man. Are they just going to walk over to the Baron and take it?
Looks
and then
like
CHOVY is going to deny anyone doing anything? Because look at this burst damage. It's insane.
Shadow Flame getting so much value here is Gen.G will just take this Baron.
This Gatekeeper is here.
Yeah.
He sets up the Sand Soldiers in front of the Baron and says, you're not allowed to come in here. And now he's looking for Gumayusi. Like, what is this Conquering Sands damage?
He has Flash, too. Like, he almost could have just solo killed as the fans are going nuts here on the Gen.G side of the arena as the Baron is taken.
That's fantastic. Let's see whether Doran can win this 1v1 as well, as Nevermove is going to go slightly wide. Doran chasing after FAKER. He would have liked to stay in mini form, I think, as he would have been able to keep chasing. But now T1 have found the Gnar yet again. And I think he's just definitely dead this time. FAKER kiting really beautifully here. And does have the stopwatch and mistimed Gnar.
This is a win for Gen.G,
goes wide.
Gen.G's getting an inhibitor. They're like, yeah, cool, broke your stopwatch, you killed an R. I don't care at all, even slightly. I've got a prop.
Is that why you pick Gnar, Wolf? You pick Gnar so we can just be bait all game? Is that the plan?
I mean, that's how Doran's playing it here, and it's working out. He's made 2 great sacrifices now to get Gen.G the lead further.
Oh my god, that crit onto Ona was obscene. And they, yeah, so it is now for, okay, Ruler's getting excited. Zeus gonna have to run. Ruler now taking a lot of damage, though Moonlight Vigil goes wide because the Devour was there from Lehens. Faker now trying to frontline. Ruler's gonna have to flash to get out of the cannon barrage. But Carrier is chasing him down with a hostile takeover, who just barely is out of range as Gen.G are gonna be bullied out as somehow Azir kills Guma. I'm not sure how CHOVY did that, but he did it. He has so much damage, and he's still inside the base. Faker goes golden, but the bailout is not going to be there for Carrier, and eventually the Swain will die, and Zeus finds himself outside of his base. These Sand Soldiers, the amount of damage that CHOVY has done, he just stood his ground.
If Zeus could have bought time for a Cyclone, there's a chance here. He's level 16, but it's just going to be so difficult. Owner Cyclone coming up soon.
Yeah, and Peanut is fighting against Zeus here, and it's once again just buy time so that we can take down these Nexus turrets. There's that Cyclone that you were talking about, but Owner is just immediately destroyed. CHOVY's damage is just way too high this game, Wolf. It's just insane. Nexus is going to go down, and Gen.G will take game 1 against T1.
Very aggressive lead for Gen.G, a snowball that comes with oppressive vision control and